find that a lot of folks that are getting into airsoft sooner or later get into the idea of the tactical side of it, where, you know, a lot of people get into airsoft and they just want to do a little bit of target shooting, or they just want to blow off a little steam. But a lot of folks get into this with the idea of actually competing with some of these other folks in different tactical scenarios, where they'll either play capture the flag, or they'll do paintball style games, or they'll just set up like a combat kind of scenario. And a lot of the folks start asking more and more about the kind of tactical gear that's available for doing these sort of events. So I thought this week we'd give you a quick rundown on some of the possibilities of things that are available for you for tactical gear for airsoft. The first one we're going to talk about today is probably the least expensive out of all of the tactical vests that are out there, and that's the standard AK style chest rig. Now this comes in either an AK style or an M4 style magazine holder, which generally holds 2 magazines in each pouch, giving you a total of 6 magazines across the front. It also has 2 large side pouches that you can either use as a dump pouch or as just an auxiliary pouch for carrying extra tactical gear like magazines or grenades or that sort of thing. Now obviously this doesn't give you as much coverage as some of the other vests that are out there, so if part of your consideration for getting a tactical vest is to get more coverage for protection so you're not getting stung as bad with the BBs, you may want to opt for one of the other tactical vests that are out there. But the nice thing about this is, obviously, since it has more air to breathe, if you're in a hotter environment like running around in the summer, this is going to give you a little bit of an easier time to cool off, so you're not going to be covered as much with a big heavy tactical vest. One of the other nice things about this vest is, since it sits up a little bit higher, it gives you a little bit more room down low for wearing gun belts and holsters. So you have a little more flexibility as far as what you're going to do with carrying your sidearm. Now this vest also doubles as a plate carrier, so it's got the pocket in the front that you can open up and insert a ballistic plate into the front of it. So if you actually did want to get some ballistic protection with this vest, you could convert it into that. Obviously with airsoft it's not that big of a consideration, but if you wanted the realism, or if you're actually using this in tactical scenarios, you can convert this into a bulletproof vest. Now this is a very open design for this vest, so all your magazines are exposed, which makes it very easy to get to it. To release them, you just simply pull back these elastic bands and the magazines easily come out of it. That's also sort of the problem, is that the magazines are exposed. If you're in a situation where there's lots of leaves or dirt or debris or sand, it can easily get into your magazines and therefore get into your gun and mess up your gun pretty easily. So if that's a consideration, you may want to consider a vest that actually has flaps that cover up the magazines, but that's going to slow you down. So if you want something that you can get mags out fast, you'll like this. If you want something that's going to give you more protection, you may want one that actually has coverage on the magazines. Now, if what you're looking for is a little more protection from getting hit from airsoft BBs, you may want to consider looking into one of these SWAT-style tactical vests. One of the nice things about this vest is that it gives you a little more flexibility as to where some of the pouches are on the actual vest. A few of these pouches actually have Velcro on them, so you actually can move them and place them exactly where you want on the vest. It also comes with a tactical radio holder, and if you want to, you can strip the whole vest down and remove the extra pouches, or you can just place them exactly where you want them so that your grenades or your extra accessories are within easy reach. Now, it does give you some magazine carrying capability with both rifle and pistol magazines on it. One of the things I like about it is that the magazines are easily covered up so that you don't have to worry about crud or dirt getting into your magazines, so that you won't mess up your gun as easily. The only downside to this is that they're in fixed positions and you can't move them or change the configuration of the magazine pouches on this vest. Now this vest gives you a lot more coverage than the chest rig, so if part of your consideration is to get something that's actually going to give you a little more protection from airsoft BBs, you're probably going to want to look into something like this. It's a lot heavier fabric. In fact, I'd say this thing would probably absorb the hits from even the most powerful airsoft guns, and you'll probably barely feel a thing. The downside is it's obviously a heavier fabric, so if you're running around in the hotter months, you're going to be sweating your butt off. But if you're running around in the fall and the winter, this is probably a great solution. Now, with all tactical gear, there's always some compromises that have to be made as far as the breathability, or how heavy it is, or how much coverage you get, or how much storage you have, or how much flexibility for moving the pockets around. So if you're looking for something that's a bit of a compromise, and at that probably the best of both worlds, you may want to look into one of these mesh tactical vests. Now, since the majority of this vest is made up of a mesh fabric, it's a lot more breathable. So if you're in a hotter climate or a hotter season and you want something that you're not going to sweat as much in, you may want to consider this. The nice thing is that even though this is a mesh fabric, it's still fairly heavy and it's going to give you a little bit of coverage, so you're not going to get hit as hard when you get shot with the Airsoft BBs. Now, since the pouches are actually sewn into the vest, it doesn't give you any kind of flexibility with being able to customize it and move it to exactly where you want it. But they are in very logical positions where you have your rifle magazines, your pistol magazines, your additional storage, and so on. So if this is your one vest and you're used to where everything is, it's a very good setup for just about any kind of airsoft player. Now, it's important to note, if you're getting serious about competing in the airsoft world, you're going to want to settle on one design for your vest and then just stick with it. The reason being, when you go for a magazine change or a pistol magazine or a grenade, you want them always to be in the same spot so you're not fumbling around for it at the last minute. Now, if total flexibility in being able to customize your rig is a consideration, then you're going to want to look into one of the MOLLE rigs. This particular one is the Tango 2 vest by Vulcan, which is probably one of the better quality ones that we've seen out on the market so far. Now, the thing about MOLLE when you first purchase it is that it comes in a fairly stripped down kind of format. This is the Tango 2 vest. When you normally purchase it, it comes with absolutely no accessories on it. You have to basically add all those yourself. What MOLLE does give you is a series of these nylon bands which allow you to attach additional accessories like magazine pouches, grenade pouches, dump pouches, and so on, and you can customize it and put them in exactly the kind of position that you want to put them in. Now, one of the really nice things about the Tango vest is that it has a lot of adjustability so that you can sort of customize this vest to fit depending on what your style is. First of all, it has these adjustable shoulder straps that you can either raise or lower the vest depending on how you want it to fit. It also has these adjustable mid straps on it so that you can expand it or contract it depending on whether you're wearing the vest with like heavier winter clothes or in the summer where you're going to be wearing it with minimal outerwear. You can make the same vest fit for either situation. Now, the Tango comes with a lot of features that you would expect on any standard military grade tactical gear, which also includes the grab handle, which is located on the back of the vest. This gives you a nice spot where you can grab a guy if he's injured and drag him off the field without causing him any additional injuries. It also comes with the suspenders located on the bottom of the vest for attaching additional accessories like your gun belt and your holster, so this will actually carry some of the weight for you rather than it being all on your hips. One of the really great things about the Vulcan line is that it has a number of different camo patterns that it's available in, so you can get all of your accessories, including your belt, your pistol holster, and so on, to all match up exactly with whatever camo pattern you're choosing. So that's the basics on tactical vests here at Replay Airsoft, and obviously we have a lot more that's available to you. So if you have any specific requests or questions, feel free to drop us a line to our email address at replayairsoft@yahoo.com, and we'll be glad to get you exactly what you want the first time. Or just feel free to stop by the showroom and take a look at what we have. So until then, we'll see you the next time.